Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching the Rapture Gaming League and we are here with the semi-finals between First Departure and Orange. This game will decide who goes to the finals and who goes to the third place decider. First Departure, they will be on the dire side. They have their full roster with them. The same cannot be said for Orange though. I mean, first of all, they're not on the dire side, so I guess, you know, that's already logical, but they are not with their full roster. They've got a stand-in, TFG is not here at the moment, but they've got a stand-in that you should be very much familiar with. It is Ice that recently got replaced in Titan, and right now is back in Orange. Well, not back in Orange. Well, for the moment, as a stand-in, he is tagged as 9, but it is actually Ice. I got that confirmed. Thank you to the people in the chat who pointed it out to me that that could be the case. So yeah, I'm actually very excited for this match because Orange has been playing some nice Dota lately, and with nice I just mean entertaining Dota. At First Departure, same story. I'm quite hyped. Perhaps it's the caffeine from the coffee I had earlier, but it doesn't matter. Oh my god, that was not a pick that I was expecting. Like, heroes that I'm hoping to see today. Mirana, Bristleback. I was definitely not expecting a first pick Invoker. Now, picking up Invoker is not the most surprising thing ever. We've seen him a couple of times lately, but first picking him is not something that you often see because normally he's ignored. Normally he's not picked nor banned. So why would you pick him up first? Well, First Departure must have a very good reason for that. They will be having their Invoker up against an OD, which is not a fun matchup for that Invoker, but we'll see how he does. I mean, Invoker, in a way, only needs to worry about his attack damage. And if he goes for Exort, I mean, even if he gets burned mana, he might not be able to cast that many spells, but he should be able to get decent last hits out of there. And of course, if he goes Exort Quest, then he also has got some regen there with the Quest. And make sure that the harassment that OD can do is not going to be all too bad. Well, taking a look at the bans, I mean, Elder Titan, Timbersaw banned out. Those two are not really that much of a surprise. Venomancer also, a strong support that we see so often lately. And the Alchemist, a hero that has been mostly played as support lately, also removed from the pool, meaning that Visage made it through, picked up by Orange in their first picking phase, together with that OD, and a Naga Siren for First Departure, which we're going to assume is also a support. So for now, both teams actually have the same kind of roles selected. So they've got a mid and they've got a support. That actually, you know, it's kind of random fact, but it means that they're also gonna ban out about the same roles, and therefore they have to be very careful not to ban out heroes that will force the opponent to pick up heroes that they actually want to do. It's all part of those mind games. Not very surprising that we're seeing a Razor banned out by Orange though. Of course that is considered a counter towards that OD, and perhaps First Departure is still gonna run that Invoker somewhere else. That is definitely a possibility. And a hero banned out that I'm kinda sad about, Mirana. Well, I don't blame them. It's a good, fun hero, but we're gonna have to do without for this first match of the best of 3. For First Departure, I mean, they have got themselves now a ban and then a pick, so they can possibly ban out something that would be a counter to whatever they're gonna pick up next. I'm kind of curious to see, like, if you're picking up Invoker as first pick, it would be kind of, you know, you could mind game this like very far. And the way I'm thinking of it is that if you pick up Invoker first, you know, the initial thought is that Invoker is going to go mid. But perhaps that's what you want your opponent to think. So you're going to put him somewhere else. So you're going to have something else mid, while making your enemy believe that they have secured themselves a mid matchup that they're already going to win with an OD. So perhaps First Departure still wants to have something else. But perhaps First Departure is expecting that Orange is thinking that already, that they are going to have that mind game, and then they can mind game the mind game. I mean, it's just, I'm trying to make sense of the Invoker first pick. Well, that's two heroes that I was looking forward to ban out. I mean, I mentioned Mirana and Bristleback, but, you know, both banned. That's a bit of a disappointment. The Darkseer is picked up by First Departure, though. We haven't seen the Darkseer that often lately, and that's normally because in the recent games, and in the recent patch, let's rephrase that. When we used to see Darkseer a lot, it was the time when if you had farm on the lane, you were doing well and you normally got ahead out of everybody. But lately, kills have been giving people more gold and control than actually, you know, hard farming gives. And therefore you need heroes that come online earlier so that they are able to fight. And Darkseer needs a lot of time and a lot of farm before he can make a big difference. And I say a lot of farm, but I mostly mean a lot of levels. Normally needs about level 10 or 11 before he actually starts to be active around the map. And don't get me wrong, I mean, his combinations are still pretty scary, especially if you combine those up with an Invoker. I mean, imagine the vacuum into the meteor, the deafening blast. It's all pretty scary, and you can all set that up with the Naga Siren song, of course. So the Wombo combo is there for first departure. I'm just a bit scary for them. For how are they gonna get to that point where they can actually get that combination going? Who is gonna be carrying them to the 20-minute mark? Invoker is a strong hero, but he's not one of those heroes that will have a big impact on the first 20 minutes. He needs his farm as well. Normally goes even for a Hand of Midas just to get ahead on those levels that he needs. Now, I'm hoping first departure will still find themselves with a bit of a more active hero, to say that. Sand King picked up by Orange. Now I love the Sand King Visage combination. I mean, normally Sand King is not that much of a great support because his Burrow Strike has a very short range, and
5 seconds remaining.
You need kind of level 3 before you can actually make that work for you. But if you have got yourself the Visage, you've got the slow, and that slow would put Sand King in a position to go for his Burrow Strike. And we've actually seen these two roaming around quite a lot in previous games, so I'm really excited to see that, and I'm hoping that they're gonna play it as aggressive as I know that they can be. And I mean, I like that from Orange, but I'm again fairly scared for first departure. I mean, they've got themselves a Naga Siren with an Ensnare. It's a pretty decent escape hero, but that's really the only thing they've got right now. The Darkseer can perhaps surge himself away, but I think Sand King can still get that Burrow Strike in. And then, of course, the Invoker can go invisible, but only if he picked up a level in Wex at some point. And there's some extra disable right there. Crystal Maiden picked up. Having a Frostbite and a slow, and a hero that, I mean, it's not one of the heroes that I mentioned that can, you know, carry your team through the first 20 minutes. But it is a hero that is definitely a strong one in the early game, making it more difficult for Orange to put their plans in motion.
Ten seconds remaining.
I'm starting to think, like,
5 seconds
I'm going back to that Invoker. I'm very sorry, but
Dire team ban.
is this Invoker gonna be on the safe lane and then put something else mid that can actually do something mid game? Because if you pick up a carry right now for first departure, like, and have Invoker mid, just the way that you would expect it to. Invoker mid, Darkseer off lane, Naga Siren and Crystal Maiden supporting the carry that is still to be picked up. It is very scary that you're gonna have a carry that doesn't have the time to farm. Maybe if you have yourself a Luna. I mean, Gyrocopter would have been a better choice, but he's already picked up by Orange. Strong support, and I like them picking that up. Denying it to first departure as well as secure themselves a bit of late game there. Now, Bed Rider is the last ban out for first departure. I mean, if you look at Orange's lineup, it could potentially be an aggressive tri lane. But regardless, they need a solo lane. Be that solo safe lane or solo off lane.
10 seconds.
If you're gonna be... If you don't want to have the OD up against the Invoker, which is something that I'm expecting still would happen, but in theory you could put the OD on the safe lane and still put something else mid. Which, by the way, is something that is... I mean, it's a possibility. And it's brilliant that they have the last pick, because then you can know exactly what first departure is gonna do with their lineup, or at least you know their last hero. You never know for certain what they're gonna do, but there's still an opening for Orange to then just mix things up. I like that. Juggernaut is the last ban from Orange. I like that ban as well. Also a hero that, when level 6, will be a very difficult one to gank. Regardless, a very difficult one to gank, of course, because of his Blade Fury. Lifestealer is still in the pool, actually, talking about difficult heroes to gank. I wouldn't mind seeing a Lifestealer. That rage is gonna help a lot if you are seeing the Sand King run at you.
10 seconds remaining.
Yep. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Does mean that they have 3 melees though, and that's something that apparently they don't want to have. The Weaver is going to be the one. The Weaver has to be quite careful in this lineup. There's a lot of nukes coming out of the Visage that Weaver can... well, can take... eat up. But with the Weaver there, I think it's very safe to say that first Departure will have that safe tri-lane. Crystal Maiden perhaps in a jungle, depending on if Orange is going to run an aggressive tri-lane or not.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm not too
5
happy about the
seconds
Weaver though.
remaining.
I think he takes too long to get online. I'm kind of worried about first Departure. Depending on how active
Reserve
Orange is
time.
earlier on, I think that Orange should be able to take the first 20 minutes of the game. And if they get ahead enough, it will be very difficult for first Departure to get back from that. But they do have that team fight potential. Don't get me wrong, they are very strong. Doom picked up for Orange. The last pick. We have seen Doom a lot more lately. Good solo pick as well. Can be on the safe lane. We've even seen him on the off lane. We've seen him in the jungle even as well. I'll put Gyrocopter on the safe lane. I feel like if Orange goes for an aggressive tri-lane and slows down that Weaver and have a good mid lane as well, with the
10
OD versus an
seconds
Invoker,
remaining.
and still have Doom free farming
5 seconds
on the safe lane, he'll be having a difficult time with the Darkseer, but I think he should be able to do that. I feel like this game might already be going in the hands of first Departure, but only time will tell. It's of course it's Dota, everything can happen. Let's take a look at who is playing or what here. On the Dire side, we've got ourselves first Departure. Hana will be playing the Darkseer. This is Pelozon will be playing Invoker. Mid or feed is Pelozon. We've got Chibix, the one that we had to wait for before this game actually was able to start, is playing that Weaver. Kai or Mean will play the Naga Siren, and then last but not least, it is Lobby, the one that was first in the lobby actually about 20 minutes before the game starts, so kudos to him. He is playing the Crystal Maiden for his team. As everybody is rotating top so far, so we can't really tell too much about their lanes. Apart from that, we of course see their inventory, so I think it's going to be the way that we expect it to be. Just with a safe trial lane, Hana on the off lane, Pelozon in the mid lane, fairly standard. We do, however, have got a aggressive trial lane lining up here for Orange. They will be playing from the Radiant side for this first game of the best of 3. They will have Ice, the stand-in, and of course Ice, you know him from formerly Titan, and before that, Orange, playing the Sand King with a cool set, by the way. I really like this Sand King set. He'll be supporting together with Ling, who is playing his Visage, and we have Sharky playing the Gyrocopter, and this will be the aggressive trial lane, and this is, I'm kind of scared for first Departure at this point. We'll see how that aggressive trial lane works out, because if first Departure is able to hold that aggressive trial lane at bay, they'll be having a decent time. They'll be able to get their items up. We have Yamate, or NWP, which is actually the letters for his initials, who'll play the OD. And he'll be up against that Invoker. And then last but not least, it is Winter, who will be on the Doom, and he will be on the solo safe lane. Up against the Darkseer, not the easiest of lanes, because of course, I mean, that Iron Shell is going to harass him quite a bit. But because he has Devour, he has got some regen, he should be able to stay alive. And of course, his Scorched Earth is actually going to help him stay alive on the bottom lane as well, giving him that extra regen. Looks like we're going to have the two supports of first Departure starting out in the jungle. Or starting out counter jungling, they just blocked this wave. But they did block the, or did kill off one of the observers. There's still one left though. And actually, with the supports on counter warding duty, for a second there I thought that Orange was going to be able to make a go for it. I mean, it's very possible. But Chibix is safe for the moment. He's got Shikushi. They do have a Sentry Ward. But this Sentry Ward is actually, oh my god. This is perfectly done for first Departure. That Observer Ward is completely safe. And actually, looks like maybe first Departure is the one to go in. The Riptide comes out. Just some harassment for now, but the Nova comes out as well. They don't have any shutdown. Rocket Barrage. Chibix has to be back. Soul Assumption comes in. One more hit. He does have a self, so he'll be healing himself up. But Ling is the one to go down. It is First Blood picked up by first Departure. Sunstrike not even needed here on this top lane. And this is potentially an aggressive trial lane of Orange that does not do what it should be doing. And if first Departure can keep this up, well, all my worries have been for nothing at all. Very nice. Best defense is a good offense, and I think first Departure just showed that. In the meantime, Winter, as said, yeah, his Scorched Earth is there, so he will be regenning. He is fine. Might not be able to kill off Darkseer until he has the Doom, and Darkseer might be able to take advantage of Winter if Winter is too confident here. I love this. Devouring the creep with the iron shell on it. That's so annoying for the Darkseer. But I don't, like, in theory, I don't think anybody should die there for the moment. I say that, and you know, one of the things is if you know, if there's a lane where, in theory, oh, sorry, I was saying ice was in orange. I was. Well, anyways, my point was that if you're having a lane where in theory nobody should die, and you know you're gonna assume that the players know that theory obviously as well, you might see these players trying to overextend because you know they hope that someone else makes a mistake, and because of that it might be one of the more volatile lanes because they feel like, you know, they can't die, they shouldn't die, and then things might happen. For now though, things won't happen. Meantime, on the top lane is a lane where I'm expecting things to happen. Looks like First Departure, after securing the first blood, have kind of played a bit more passive. Chibix has been able to get a couple of last hits, not as many as the Gyro though, and I feel like if they are continuing this lane like this, they kind of have to get another kill here to give Chibix that extra gold, or at least create some space. I mean, First Departure is aware, or rather Orange is aware that First Departure might be rotating again, but they do have a Burrow Strike around the corner, and this Sand King has actually been given some levels, or Ling is standing a bit more back to be able to give both Nine and Sharky the levels, because he needs his level 3. I pointed that out during the draft. He needs a level 3 for that level 2 Burrow Strike. Meantime, on the mid lane, we've got Yamate sitting on 16 to 13, while Pelozon is 7 for 6. So this lane is going the way of Yamate. There's no surprise. We were expecting that. And he is going, indeed, Quasek Sword, but yeah, last hit-wise, he's not going to get that much. Experience-wise, though, that's the one that we should be looking at most. He is doing okay in that regard. Though, of course, the longer it takes for him to get his goal up, the longer it will take for him to get his Hand of Midas up. And it looks like Hana is going on Winter here. There's no more mana for Winter, but he does pick himself up a bottle, and he should be safe there. With that extra movement speed from the Scorched Earth. Just how scary it can be. Going for a walk around the tower. But Winter is just fine again. He does have a bit of extra company though, as mid or feet Pelozon comes out to the bottom lane as well. They are looking to take him down before he hits level 6. In the meantime, on the top lane, we might have Chibix actually dying. The Burst Strike will indeed pick him up with one last hit from the Visage. As Nine running for his life and snared. Crystal Maiden comes in, has got a Frostbite on the Nova, and indeed gets the kill. Kai though, stick charges, will they help him keep him up? It looks to be able to stay alive. Barely, but doesn't die. In the meantime, Doom is the one that does die on that bottom lane. The Doom still comes out, and he's still able to get a return kill on the Invoker. Kills happening on both sides of the map. And actually, Sand King teleporting in, looking for the Burrow Strike. Wants to go for Hana, gets blocked by the Invoker illusion. Cannot find himself, the Darkseer. And that's gonna mean that overall, it was a 1-for-1 on the bottom lane, and a 1-for-1 on the top lane as well. So an even trade overall, even though the biggest difference is of course that the Darkseer, or that the Weaver was actually the one to die while Gyrocopter did not die. And the kill that happened on the top lane happened while Chibix wasn't there at all, so he doesn't get gold nor experience for it. And that's quite a sad thing for him. We have another rotation. Ice coming in. Mid lane is where he wants to be. Perhaps waiting for an Astral Imprisonment coming off from Yamate. Nope, he backs off again. Perhaps hoping for that 6-minute rune to be an invis. Let's see how lucky he gets. Oh, yep. Yep. First of all, he's lucky that the rune spawned on his side, and then he's lucky that it gets to be an invis rune. Well, that is just golden. That is just golden. And there's no ward for First Departure on the bottom lane. They do have some vision on the top rune, so they know the rune spawned bottom. They don't know if it's an invis though, and they've seen that OD didn't move around for it. So we'll see how active Pelozon thinks he can be here. Yeah. Moving so far forward, Yamate gave away that there might be something there. We do also have the Naga Siren hanging around. No, they don't go for it. Invis rune already out. It's gonna be that Invoker is safe. By the way, if people are having apparently lag issues at the moment, I am not really dropping any frames, so unfortunately it is on the side of Twitch. You can send a report by clicking on the wrench. And I definitely urge you to do that, because it is then the servers in your region, and Twitch can do something to fix that if they have enough reports to find it, you know, important enough. We have a smoke up for Lobby and Kai, looking for the OD. OD is very well positioned though. Actually seems to be aware that this could be happening. That ward is almost disappeared, but apparently it still did his job.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
With the supports rotating middle, by the way, this is a solo Weaver at this moment. He does have time lapse, so he's fairly safe in that regard. But he has to be careful. His supports come back though. He's going to be safe again very soon. Sharky is sitting on 35 to 8 here on last hits. While Jibix is only sitting on 24 to 5. It is not as bad as it, you know, could be. Oh, look at these supports. Sentry ward goes down, but the ensnare. The support Sharky gets picked up before his supports reach Jibix. Actually, Doom coming off on Jibix regardless though. Winter rotating in. There will be one dead Weaver, but denied. Kai dies afterwards, but his job is done. He denied his carry, making sure that nobody could pick up the gold for him, while Lobby legs it out. Gets himself out into safety. 4 heroes on the top lane, and a gyrocopter died for the first time. I like the plan of Orange, but I don't think they were expecting First Departure to be as active as well, rotating in to try and take down Sharky. Surge up, looking for an ensnare. Sharky will go down for the second time. The Sunstrike comes in. Invoker gets a kill. This is the second time within a minute that the gyrocopter dies. That is very bad. Just to say it friendly.
Radiant's bottom tower
In the meantime, taking a look at like something that we normally see. The aggressive tri-lanes support levels are normally slightly behind, but it looks like Sand King is still quite decently leveled. He is level 5 at this point. And of course the Visage is also level 5, so actually that is pretty decent indeed. Gyrocopter also level 5 is the one that is the more painful one, as he's been forced to share the experience with his supports as the Sand King reveals himself. We compare themselves to the Tri-Lane on the top lane. We have a level 5 Crystal Maiden. We have the Naga Siren still level 4, but close to level 5. But the biggest difference here is the Weaver, who is actually sitting at level 7 and almost level 8.
Tower is under attack.
And you can of course compare him to the Gyrocopter, who gets another Sunstrike. If he, oh my god, if he dies again. No, this time he doesn't die, and this time he gets back up. Kai getting chased by a homing missile, as Winter has got a Doom on him. Might be trying to go for Hana here. Doesn't decide to go for it, just gets to punch Naga Siren in the face, and it's going to be enough for him for now. Maybe he still wants to have Hana. Where is the Doom? There's the Doom! No search for you, Hana, but is he fast enough? Where is the teleport for First Departure to the bottom lane to help out this Darkseer? There it is! Crystal Maiden might be there to save the day, even if only to deny his carry, who is actually not going to die from this. That is going to be a wasted Doom. If he had it on earlier, perhaps that would have been a better one. Mechanism now also complete for the Darkseer. He is doing quite nicely for himself, and actually he is highest on last hits and denies, and also highest on net worth, as I just switched that ranking. Doom is second highest though, of course. That's the solo safe lane, so no surprise there, as we have our first Hand of Midas. Is that our? No, it's the second. I was gonna say, because Invoker did go for his Hand of Midas, no surprise there, but Weaver also. Interestingly enough, going for Hand of Midas, kind of forcing Gyrocopter to do the same, because he is really not getting that much last hits, and he needs some form of getting that, like getting back ahead, getting back on par even with the Weaver in terms of levels, and a Hand of Midas is going to be the one to go for in that case. Sharky tries to get some farm here. He has been having such a tough time just in the last couple of minutes. And I have to say, this lineup for First Departure is working out a lot better than I expected it to. We have a smoke up for 9 and for Yamate. Familiars coming in to help scout out some stuff, perhaps. Let's see where they're gonna go to. I mean, they could be trying to go for the Darkseer on the bottom lane, which is a very good target because he is, you know, the highest farmed hero on the map. But going towards the middle lane might be more rewarding, slowing down that Invoker. In the end, they don't go anywhere. Well, that is a smoke that was quite awkward, to be honest. Jimmick's going back top. Where Ling is actually trying to get some farming. We already saw his familiars just now, so he reached level 6. And Naga Siren, by the way, the one that was level 4 when Lobby was still level 5, is now level 6 while Lobby is still level 5. So he has got himself the Song of the Siren. That means that any kind of team fight that bursts out from this point onward, the first departure doesn't agree with that, they can just sing and get themselves out of there. It looks to be we have a bit of a stagnated game. The aggression from both sides has kind of paused. I mean, last aggression came for first departure on this bottom lane, and they weren't able to make something out of it. They actually lost their Naga Siren. Well, of course, Orange's aggression hasn't really panned out either, because they lost Sharky a couple of times, and he just really needs some time right now to farm. Maybe in the mid lane we have ourselves something. It is Kai that gets himself no song, no song. Sanity Eclipse comes out. Lobby will be picked up as well. One more hit to go, but he actually runs away. The vacuum, the wall. Hannah makes it happen. Maybe they can get themselves Winter. They're trying to chase him down. Chibik's coming in. The cold snap is already there. Winter doesn't have a Doom anymore. Does still have one bottle charge, but Chibik, he's out for blood. Astral Imprisonment could still help out if Yamate just turns himself around. There we go. That's going to be the Weaver safe. Or, you know, stop from forcing Winter down for a little while longer. Nobody ended up dying apart from the Naga Siren there in the middle lane. Sunstrike still comes out, but won't hit because the TP out was there for Winter, making sure that he didn't have to try and dodge any kind of Sunstrike. Well, I have to say, nice damage control by first departure. Hana, I mean, he didn't die with that Doom on him. He just, there's not enough damage if you don't chase him down. But he just saved the day there with that vacuum wall. He might not be able to get any kills, but this Darkseer, 14 minutes in, he is at the point at where I said he should be. And where he is actually able to contribute into fights that I mentioned during the draft. So yes, it is definitely a hero that can definitely still work. Saving the life of the Crystal Maiden, forcing everybody back, stopping Orange's push. We do have Yamate with his 4-staff right now. He's sitting on 1300 gold already.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Ling is here as well, doing some harassment on this tier 1 tower. I mean, so far there's only one tower down, which is the one on the bottom lane, tier 1 on the side of Orange, but it looks like they're gonna pick up this tier 1. Oh, the song comes out. The familiars will still take the tower though. No, deny. Nicely done. The siege creep does it, and that's a wasted song. And now that there's no song, perhaps Yamate can get an Astral Imprisonment, but nope. Tried to go for it, then wasn't in range. There were 5 heroes there to back him up though, should he have gone in. I wouldn't have blamed him for it. It would be a fight that they were outnumbering first departure with. Take a look at the graphs. I mean, I don't expect too much of a difference between the teams, and as you see, the gold graph very even. I mean, the towers just got put to even as well, of course, as the kills are fairly even as well as the farm. So 1k in favor of Orange is really nothing at 15 minutes in, so kind of neglectable. Experience graph, same story, slightly in favor of first departure. The reason for that is pretty simple actually, because Orange has just spent, well, they just went for a bit of a push with 5 people middle for 2 times in a row. And first departure was still farming top and Chibik's at that point, and that's where the extra experience could have come from. And as well as, of course, the extra Hand of Midas that they have. Darkseer with the Hand of Midas, Midder Feeder, Pelozon with the Hand of Midas, and Chibik's with the Hand of Midas. It is a Midas gaming all over again, as the smoke is up for first departure, and they are looking for some action. Yeah, 3 Hand of Midases versus 0. Well, Weaver, getting a Homo Missile on his face. Find himself Sharky. The Nova comes out. The Surge is there. Frostbite, Sunstrike. Sharky tries to do what he can. Still takes quite a bit of damage, but in comes the Epicenter. Burrow Strike up on the Naga Siren, but the mechanism will keep him up. Winter, though, goes for the Doom. Gets himself the Naga Siren. In comes Yamate. Sanity's Eclipse not doing as much as I think he was expecting to. They might be able to get themselves a Weaver, though, and that is indeed the case. Aggression coming off from first departure, and they get themselves 1 kill because Kai was able to keep himself up with the Doom on him. But they get the Weaver, which is not really good. I mean, not even Sharky died. They didn't continue to go for him. It's a bit awkward engagement. Perhaps, I mean, the song not there. It wasn't even there because it was on cooldown still, so... Well, that happen. Tower goes down. I mean, that is something that First Departure is gonna regret doing. Sunstrike comes out, but doesn't hit anything. Nice attempt though. Would have gotten 9 if it hit on him, but he was very far away from that. And with that tower down, we've got ourselves a Shadow Blade for the Doom. Items are starting to get ready more and more on Orange. They're core items. We also got ourselves a Medallion of Courage. Hey, shouldn't there be a pop-up of what it is? Oh, that's awkward. But Medallion of Courage, that's that one. That's weird. And with that, they could actually try and take down Roshan at this point if they find themselves in a position where they have the control of the map to do that, of course. Ah, still no pop-out. Weird. Well, Sharky is still going for his BKB. I believe he actually got it complete. Yep. This is the recipe for that, even though we don't see it. This is my guess that it is a BKB recipe. Courier? No, it wasn't the BKB recipe. What? Was the recipe for the headdress. Wow. Well, that means he doesn't have it complete yet. But he's close. He is close. Smoke up for Orange as they rotate towards the bottom lane. The only one that's there is Pelozon. With his 4 staff, he's already backing off again. Looks like they might be in danger of losing their tier 1 tower bottom, but... Well, nothing to but, because Winter is going to be safe on the top lane, and that means that if they give up this tower without any trade, First Departure, they're losing ground real fast. Now, with ground, I actually mean ground, because map control is going to be the one that they would be going after, but at some point they need to make a stand, and I would like them to do it like at this tier 1 tower. It looks like they might want to do that as well. The TP comes in from the Crystal Main. The tower doesn't have a fortify, so if they want to do this, they have to do this fast, and they don't really have the Weaver with them just yet, because he is still on this middle lane, and he doesn't really have any real items either. Sunstrike comes out. That's going to be up on 9. That's enough. The Vacuum will take him down. Cooldown comes down up on 2, though. And Snare, no TP out for Sharky. Locked in place. The Rocket Barrage still doing some damage to the Naga Siren, but it doesn't matter. Sharky drops. The wall even got put down, kind of overkill, but that's a really good fight for First Departure. They get themselves 2 kills. In the meantime, the TP comes out from OD to the top lane, making sure that the split push of Chibik is not going to be successful, but they get the 2 kills. Most importantly, they get the Gyrocopter, slowing down his BKB once more. And that's pretty bad for him. Perhaps they can even get a tier 1 mid in return. I don't think they can, actually. Because that's the thing that you'd be starting to look at this moment. I mean, winning or losing fights is one thing, but making sure you get something off the back of the fights that you get is going to be more and more important. Like getting yourself towers. Yay! Tier 1 tower mid and top still standing on the side of Orange, and I think that the mid one especially is going to be one that First Departure want to take down. I mean, the dire advantage is going to be in the hands of First Departure for a while, because they still have that tier 2 tower standing, and they are closer to the Roshan pit than the ones of Orange. Than the tier 1s of Orange. But still, if you want to try and take down the Roshan at some point, which, you know, we're 20 minutes into the game, it's one thing that you're going to start to look towards. But if you want to try and do that, you have to make sure that your enemies are going to be at a bit of a disadvantage, even more than they already are. Ooh, we have the Weaver picking up the Doom in the mid lane, but we are following here because we are seeing a Frostbite up on Sharky. He still has a cooldown, but he takes a lot of damage here, and he will be picked off. Naga keeps herself up. Oh my god, that's so close. The Urn Charge, the Familiars, they want to chase it down. Can they actually do it? They take off the Urn Charge, and actually, they will be able to get themselves away. Gyro dead, but the Song keeping that Naga off for a little while longer, but in comes Winter. He's looking for the kill. Does he have something else? A level death. The Riptide is there. He tries to run for it. There's no Scourge hit for Winter just yet, but I don't think he needs it. One more hit, and he will get the kill. In the meantime, the Darkseer got picked up by the Visage as well. That is not what First Departure was going after. They were the ones to initiate. They were the ones to lose more. They still get, again, the Gyrocopter. He is very sad because he still doesn't have his BKB. But this Doom is getting more dangerous by the minute. He did get the Weaver as well, so got himself the Weaver, rotated bottom, got himself the Naga Siren, got a double kill across the board. And with the Weaver picked up, I mean, Weaver has died 4 times as well. He is still not having his Lincolns. That means that the 2 cores of both sides... Seriously? Oh, Invoker picks himself up the Gyrocopter. Again, that's a solo kill. That is not something that the Gyrocopter should have let happen, but it is the combination that you can see. Sunstrike, Cold Snap. That's it. A Force Spirit to help out with the minus armor. Perhaps he can even take a tower off the back of that. They would actually trade towers for that. That would be very nice. There's 4 people pushing on the tier 1 bottom. There's no way that that one is going to live with that, with the Darkseer still down. But if they can get a return tower, well, pretty decent. Pretty decent indeed, but he's not going to go for it. Apparently, backing off. Well, that means that they're going to lose a bottom tier 1 tower. As we have a disconnect, so we've got ourselves a real pause this time. Well, the other one was a real pause too, I guess, but without someone disconnecting. Winter is rotated top. He does have a Doom again in 20 seconds. Might be looking to try and take down the Weaver again at that point. I mean, both of these carries are just so sad. And if you then look at the second highest, or the second, like the number 2 position, let's just put it that way. So that would be, I believe, I would actually put the Doom. I don't look at net worth at the moment, but I would actually put the Doom in carry position better than the OD later on. He is doing really well for himself, and OD of course as well. So that's OD and Doom up against a Darkseer and an Invoker. And even though Invoker is doing really nice, he's not going to be able to stand up against the Doom and the OD. So pretty scary, to be honest, for first departure if that Weaver can't be getting his farm on. Let's get the OD with the Scythe of Ice ready now as well. So he's looking to surprise someone with that. Perhaps get himself a Darkseer. Could be. Doom reveals himself on the top lane. The group wave pushing in. Chibik's back in the jungle. He is just slowly but steadily getting to that Lincoln Sphere. He just really doesn't want to die again. I don't blame him. One thing that I really find that Orange is lacking at this point. I mean, they have got the better... I feel like they have the better map control because they have got more towers up and they are the ones to continuously find the kills. It is 10 to 9, I realize that, but... yeah, I find that they are the ones to be scared of at this point. But they don't really have any wards up. The only ward that they have is a sentry right there that doesn't do anything. But no wards around the Roche pit, which is something that I would be expecting at this point. Looks like Lincoln's going to make a difference to that lack of wards though, because he does have 2 observers in his inventory. There we go. Thank you very much. I mean, the wards for first departure are there. Very defensive though. 1 around the Roche pit. 1 in their own jungle to see if someone comes in, even though of course they don't see a Doom coming in with the Shadow Blade perhaps. First departure. Last tier 1 tower standing on the side of Orange. They want to really take it down. There is a fortification, they will use it as well. Orange, do they want to try and fight this? Winter is around there, but he doesn't really have that much backup. It's close by. Oh, actually, that was a TP from there to there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, they are able to defend their tower. That's at least decent. 4 heroes rotating for that though. And, well, I guess they also made 4 heroes rotate from first departure, so that's also pretty good. We've got ourselves a tower that's almost in the 9 range though. Next time that Chivik starts split pushing, the tower will drop. Highest hero in net worth. Hasn't died yet, by the way. He is not the only one that hasn't died yet, because there's also a Crystal Maiden on the board that has been involved in 6 kills out of the 9 and hasn't died yet either. Been pretty close a couple of times. And then most importantly, remember the one in the mid lane where Darkseer was able to save her life, but hasn't died yet, which is a bit more impressive than an OD that hasn't died yet, to be honest. OD that seems to be going for BKB. Have to be careful if you go for BKB. If you're gonna be having your BKB on, at the moment that Gyrocopter does not have his on and there's a song, you're gonna be the only target that people can focus down. Although most of the damage comes from magic damage, because I mean the physical damage mostly will come from Weaver at some point. He has his Lincolns, but he still doesn't have any damage items, so damage-wise it will be a bit lackluster in terms of physical damage. Nice Sunstrike. In comes a song. There's a BKB on the gyro. He could try and turn this around. Jivik's coming in as well. In comes the bugs. Kai should be a bit careful here. They go for it though. They go for it. Cooldown comes down as well. So Sanity's Eclipse, the mech already used, and it's First Departure that just gets obliterated. Oh my god, the only one left alive is Chivix, and that is a triple kill for Sharky. All he had to do was press E, press R, and just right click people. Oh, he also pressed his BKB again. So Chivix still hexed up, still in a lot of trouble. Does have a time lapse, but oh my god, he gets it off. Runs, slowed down, running for his life right now. Can he actually make it out? He's got another Squishy in a couple of seconds. There we go. Looks like he'll be okay. The homing missile still revealing his position though, and that seems to be not enough for First Departure to go on. That's scary. But Orange just, like, that is a BKB gyrocopter right there. Only one item can turn a fight around that much. Of course, the Sanity's Eclipse doing a lot of damage there as well, because the OD is pretty far ahead in terms of intellect. Ooh, nice attempt. And after the Sanity's Eclipse was, the mechanism was used, but it wasn't enough. There was too much AoE damage coming out. Also, of course, the Burrow Strike of Sand King was pretty nice to help out as well. Shiva's Guard picked up by the Doom. I was actually hoping that he was gonna go for an AC. Now, if only we knew what that recipe was for, right? If only there was some kind of way of telling. Oh, I can actually do that. It's a Vladimir's Offering recipe. Cool. Well, it's not an AC, but it does give you that extra armor boost, which is pretty nice. And I mean, armor aura, which is nice. Perhaps I are saving the AC for someone else. I couldn't know who though. First Departure. Getting more and more behind. As you can see, Orange is almost 7,500 gold in favor in this game, and after previous fight, 5,000 experience. It's quite a lot. Taking a look at the levels, it means that there is actually a level 3 ultimate on the map, which is in the form of the OD Sanity's Eclipse. The rest is all still level 15 or lower. Smoke up for Orange. They know they're ahead at this point if they can find that brilliant fight, so they can try it. And they also have the first BKB of the OD still here. One of the things that for First Departure is something that they have to hope for / wait for is having those BKB timers reduced. Oh, Chivix. Can he actually get himself away? Now they find him. The Hex, the Burrow Strike, that's gonna be enough. They do of course have that Gem of True Sight to help out. But yeah, it's like right now First Departure have to really hope that they have got the BKBs down to 4 seconds at some point. This is still 10-second BKB. Gyrocopter is 9 seconds, and you know they just have to hope for that, and afterwards they have to get that perfect fight going. And on top of that, they have to get the Weaver to get some damage items, which is not really happening yet. Oh, Pelozon, careful there. He's the only one close by. Looks like Roshan is hunted down. Orange really wants to take him. Well, perhaps outer towers first. I think they can go for it though. It's just always the case, like the one that enters the Roche pit is gonna be the one that is the one not in favor of a team fight. Because you're not having the initiation that you want to have. While First Departure can of course then vacuum Meteorite or Sing and take Roshan. It's just very scary for Orange to take Roshan. It's very scary for First Departure to take Roshan too, because also they can't take a 5-on-5 fight. But at least they're able to trade tier 2 towers right now for First Departure. That's good. For Orange, you know, might as well. I'm gonna try to force people back to the middle lane right now. Hoping that they'll back off. One TP already going down for Winter. And actually the TPs of First Departure are still there. Perhaps he can interrupt it. Yes he can. A Doom is on. Hana. He runs. But he is slowed. He is gonna get picked up. You're dead. Nicely done by Winter. And that means that if Orange tries to force out a fight right now, they'll be 4-on-4. 4-on-3 even, as Tubix is still desperately trying to farm. 2,200 gold in his inventory. Curious to see what he's gonna go for. If it's gonna be a Desolator or if he wants to have something else. I mean, Sharky is not showing any signs of a butterfly yet, but an MKB, for example, wouldn't be too bad. Ooh, Hex up. Meteor, Deafening Blast. Quite some damage, but not enough to force out a BKB charge. Mechanism will keep them up, and tier 3 tower is already dead. There comes the song. No BKBs right now. Sharky can just turn around, turn on his BKB, go for the cooldown, and I think he's gonna do exactly that. Hammers drop, but it's only up on the Naga Siren, and the BKBs wasted. First Departure baited that out brilliantly. Now they can go in. Now the BKBs are down. There comes the vacuum. Is there more? There is more. Yamate Astral Imprisonment for the moment. Freezing Field. MVP Winter gets himself up, but Yamate drops. Gem falls on the floor as well as Chimix picks it up. Looking for another one. Looking for Sharky, but he TPs himself out. No, gets hexed. Can they take him down? I think they can. They've got another Frostbite. They will take him down. The buyback from the Naga Siren to help out. The cold step up on Ling, who tries to get himself out with a Grave Chill right there, but he can't. There's too much damage coming out. And that's gonna be 3 dead. Darkseer still falls on the setup for his departure, but it doesn't matter. They did that perfectly. Went for the song, pretended they were gonna go in. BKBs popped by Orange, and everybody for his departure was nowhere to be found. Brilliantly done. Taking the fight. They still lost their tier 3, of course, but they will get the Roshan off the back of this one. That is pretty impressive, to say the least. And with that fight, they should be putting at least, well, the gold graph is not going to drop that much more, but the experience graph should drop quite a bit more, especially since there's now about 20 seconds where both the OD and the Gyrocopter and the Visit aren't farming. And, yeah. I have to say, I was not expecting that. First Departure, definitely putting up a fight. Take the Aegis, half that on the Weaver, who has now also got a Desolator. I like that item, I really do. With no butterfly on the Gyrocopter, he has the luxury of going that. And that already means that the Vladimirs of Doom, like the armor that he extra gets for his team, is not going to be as effective anymore. Which, by the way, he's also going to be going for the AC still. I don't blame him for that. He is the AC carrier, to be honest.
Generation.
1200 gold up on Sharky. Well, you know, considering the game that he's had, he's not even doing that bad. I mean, he is 3rd highest on net worth for his team. But it's no shame to be behind a Doom. I mean, he has the Devour. And he was on a safe lane. You know, you have an excuse being the Gyrocopter here in this game. OD, though. OD is really, really dominating. And he's actually going for an Orchid. Good item. The only question is, who are you going to silence? There's so many good targets. You want to silence the Invoker? Or you want to hex him up? Like, there's, you know, you can choose. But you can silence the Invoker, making him completely useless, basically. His right clicks are still quite decent, but yeah. You can silence up the Darkseer, no vacuum, no wall. I mean, those vacuums have been really on point this game from Hana, so you might want to do that one. Or no song, no Naga Siren song. No Shukushi. There are so many good... No Freezing Field. Crystal Main has been having quite a couple of good Freezing Fields. Oh, Jibix has got Doom on him. He's trying to make it towards his team. Kai comes in with an ensnare. Jibix, though, he'll still get picked up, but he'll try to help out his team. The cooldown comes down. Winter and Sharky still alive. The BKBs are on. Mid our feet, Pelosa. What are you doing there, buddy? Far stuff away, but Level Death comes out and in comes Ice. Burrow Strike Epicenter takes down a Naga Siren. It is a Freezing Field that might still pick him up, and it is indeed the case. Gem of True Sight. Jibix will take that one, and will try to run with it. Should be able to. He was able to buy back, I believe. No, he had an Aegis. I forgot about that. He had an Aegis. He was fine. Otherwise, he would have bought back and time-lapse out, but yeah, he had an Aegis. Forgot about that one. So, yeah, that means that it is a 1-for-2 trade still. Basically 1 for 3 if you take the Aegis into consideration, but on the plus side, that was another BKB charge on Sharky. And I already mentioned that that's something that you want to be having. That's something that you want to be doing. You want to be continuously getting those BKB charges down, because the lower they are, the better chance you have as first departure. Gold graph back, going back up though. Orange once again at the 7,500. Experience graph, same story. Well, that's a fight for you. I mean, in this fight, in this game, experience doesn't really make that big of a difference anymore. Invoker is at level 17, so that's a decent level for him. Weaver is level 19 even. I mean, those Hanamidases for first departure are really paying off. That's the reason why they can keep up with Orange. Gold-wise, same story. not as much, but without the Hand of Midases, they would be very far from home. MKB picked up for the gyrocopter. Let's see if he'll finish up his Satanic, or he goes for Butterfly first. He knows that the Weaver has picked up a Desolator, so doesn't have any MKB for himself just yet. Then again, if he shows his, that he's building a Butterfly already very early on, then by the time that he finished that, Weaver will have his MKB. And this Weaver starts to be more dangerous. Starts to be also more and more menacing in terms of split push. It's a refresher? Oh, it's a refresher! My bad. Sorry, chat. I really hope that it was an Orchid, because it would be such a good item up against the lineup of First Departure, but yep, I'm blonde. It is a refresher. Well, more hammers will be dropped in that case. It's also a good choice. And he is still very much ahead in terms of intellect, so that's a pretty big burst of damage that can come out of him at any point. And he has the mana to support it as well. Aghanim Scepter build up by Pelozon. 26,600 gold. He's almost as complete. At this point also, I mean, especially if you're on the side of First Departure, maybe for Orange not as much. But you have to make the decision. Do you wanna... Oh, what are you doing there? That's a hammer. That's a time lapse. Jivix. He gets some help from his team. Perhaps he can help out the tornado. Force Staff, dodging the tornado. The bug's still chasing him down. In comes a blink. Epicenter. Burrow Strike doesn't reach anybody apart from Jivix, and he is just fine. It is ice that drops. Mechanism comes out for First Departure. They want to try and continue going with this. They want to take the creep wave with them and push. No Epicenter. No hammer. Just a gyrocopter to deal with. Jivix on the hunt. Looking for Ling. Looking for some extra vision. Finds himself some familiars. One left alive though. And with a Desolator, they can push this tower actually quite far. The Hex goes up on Yamate. Can they take him down? I think they might be able to. The BKB is still there though, but does he have time to pop it? Everything locked in place. The song is there, so they can only take down the BKB's target. Now the song ends. Sharky is already dead. Naga Siren drops with him, and Weaver as well actually. That's a big deal. 3 for 1. Buyback on Sharky. Yamate still alive for the moment, and this is everybody on First Departure dead apart from Pelozon, who runs for his life right now. He should be able to do exactly that. Should actually be able to TP himself out if he wants to as well. Actually no. Oh yeah, see his boots of travel. There we go. Oh, that song was awkward though. They popped the song so they could focus on the BKB target, but it felt like they weren't focusing it properly. Sharky still died and was forced to buy back though, and that shuts him down a lot. Though next fight, OD has his refresher ready. Well, it takes a while before Roshan is up again. Not sure why Sharky was around there. Didn't bought anything at the secret shop. I mean, with the ages out of the way, I'm kind of like, Orange is looking pretty good now with the refresh orb. Question is, will Orange want to try and force out a fight right now, 5-on-5 fight, or will they want to wait for Roshan and take that one first? Looks for now that they are trying to apply at least a bit of pressure on the bottom lane. I'm not expecting them to just run in and try and fight though. They would only fight if they have some kind of mispositioning spotted on First Departure. They find themselves some kind of brilliant opening. Or First Departure is initiating on them, which might actually be the case. They find Winter, the Hex is there. Can they actually take him down? They've got another ensnare as well. They should be able to take that. He doesn't have a BKB, but the Astral Imprisonment will keep him safe. Now comes the hammers. Down goes the Naga Siren. No song for you. Darkseer picked up as well before he could even do that much. First Departure forced to back off again. And they will lose their tier 2. And that is the kind of initiation that Orange was waiting for. Refresher wasn't even used for that one. 2 dead. And even though, I mean, the core heroes of the Invoker and the Weaver are still not dead, but Naga Siren as well as Darkseer are the control heroes in terms of a fight. Hello. Hello. 9. I think you kind of were too happy. Oh wow, lobby. That's a crystal maiden. There's your refresh and popped up. Looking for something. Can they actually take the Darkseer down again? Yes, they can. In comes the hammer. Down goes the Weaver. That's gonna be 2 heroes left alive. The song comes out too late. Kai cannot save his teammates, and all he can do is pop the song to run away from this. Watching his barracks drop, the epicenter was just a victory epicenter, I guess, for that fight. They will be able to take the Rex. I'm actually expecting them to also be able to rotate mid because the tier 3 tower is already down there, and I think that with this game, Orange will have taken the first game here on the best of 3 series for the Rapture Gaming League semi-finals. Ooh, first off, way. We'll see if First Departure can still fight that. They will have to deal with being without a Weaver for 50 seconds. And this is why I said that you perhaps want to save for buyback, because one fight could be your last. Tornadoes, EMPs, just to harass. They're not enough to force Orange out of this base. Or are they? Apparently Orange very careful here. Cold Snap comes out, again, just to harass. Still no Weaver. But Orange, they back off. I feel like this is a mercy showing coming off from Orange. Although they'll just take Roshan, I guess that's also a decent one to have.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
That means ages on the hands of Orange. I'm finding it a steep uphill battle for First Departure at this moment. I find it also brave that they haven't called a GG. We have 15k gold in favor of Orange, 20k experience. For First Departure, they have to get everything close to perfect and then hope that Orange makes some big mistakes if they still want to take this game. Like they did when that fight happened middle. Bait out the BKBs, back off when they happen, and then go in afterwards. Oh, careful there. Hard complete now also on the Doom. That means that, I mean, if he wasn't hard enough to kill before, definitely is now. Double Sanity's Eclipse back up again. Just a couple of seconds. Those have been really, really painful. Yeah, slowly but steadily. You see Orange. I mean, they're farming out the dire jungle, but in a way, they're all rotating top. That's the only lane that they still have left. Might as well just try to force out a fight with that Aegis. The double hammer. Call down. 8, yeah, gyrocopter. Not that rich actually. Does he have an item bot? Yeah. I think that is... Is that Doom still? Oh yeah, no, that's not Doom's. That is actually the Satanic ready. Nice. Tornadoes, EMPs. This is just harassment again. First Departure. In the way they want to fight outside of their base, because if they fight inside their base, they might actually have... Well... Might actually have their their base killed off. But they have to force out those BKBs first. Oh, this is Orange go again. We have got 9 already sitting ready. The blink burst like I presented. There he goes. He's channeling in. Looking for a target though. Blinks forward. There's nobody there. Tornado. Now they can go in. The BKB's still up on Yamate. And he's already dropped one hammer. Looking for the other one. Gets the Invoker. Time left from Chibix. The song comes out. That might be enough. But no, it is not enough. The refresher also got another BKB charge out of Yamate, who's forcing everybody back again. The Doom up on the Weaver. That's gonna be Pelosa who bobbed back, forced back into his base. Crystal Maiden lives for a little while longer, but yeah, the GG comes out. Orange will take this first game in the best of 3 for the semi-finals of the Rapture Gaming League. We will find out if Orange can take a 2-0 or if First Departure can force out a third game. We'll be back here soon in, well, just a couple of minutes with the second game of the best of 3 series, and I will be joined by Kanaz at that point, so lucky for you, you don't have to bear with me solo casting anymore. We'll be right back with more Rapture Gaming League.